Hi everybody, I'm Seth Bling. Welcome to my panel. It's really cool to see all you guys here. It really means a lot that you guys have come out to see me give my talk. I'm really sorry about the size of the screen. I had no idea it was going to be this small. I hope those in the back can still see enough to get something from this. And I'm going to be obviously talking the whole time, so you're still going to get all that. But again, I'm really sorry. I really thought there was going to be something a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a demonstration of the techniques and tools that I used along with Hypixel to build the Team Fortress 2 2-fort map you guys probably saw yesterday at the opening ceremonies. Here's the credits. So I worked with Hypixel on this, and we built another map before. That one was Dust Bowl. Team Fortress 2, for those of you who don't know, is a first-person shooter game. You have 9 different classes in that game that you can pick from, and there's various different maps with different objectives. This map that we are doing it's 2-fort, it's a capture the flag map. And so I just want to show you kind of the features of the game before we get started so that you can see what we're building towards. And so over here there's like 3 buttons on the wall. There's a randomized team button, which actually isn't going to do anything right now, but that'll spit out players on the blue side and red side randomly. It'll make sure there's an equal number of players on each team. There's a map selection room over here that lets you choose between 2-fort and Dust Bowl, the 2 maps. And then you can return to the lobby, and that actually just kills you. Then you respawn in the lobby, so it's okay. And then there's the start game button here, so I'm gonna push that, start a little game up. The door is open here. You'll notice the door is open, and that lets players into the class selection room. So there's one for the red team, one for the blue team. I'm gonna pick demo. That's like a demolition man. So when I spawn, you'll notice, maybe you heard it, there was one set of dispensers and then a second set of dispensers. And I'll go over that later. I'll actually put myself in. So now I have a bunch of gear. I have blue pants, blue shirt, blue boots, and they have the labeled names. I have a bow. This one has infinity and punch. And then I have an arrow, so I only need one arrow for this bow. I can put on my gear. And I have a demo hat. This one has some protection. It has blast protection because, demos have, they explode stuff. I have a sword. The sword has knockback 3. That's supposed to be like the demo, when they hit you, they kind of explode you away. And then I have all these splash potions of harming. The demo man has all the area of effect, grenades. And so I splash these, and it's kind of like a grenade, really. Of course, there is self-damage and friendly fire because there's just, in vanilla Minecraft, there's no way to prevent you from damaging teammates. So if I just kill myself here, so you'll notice, for those of you who can't see, I used up like 15 of those potions. So I only have 49 in that stack left. When I respawn, it actually clears the potions and resets it. So now I have, again, 4 full stacks of these damage potions. And every time I do that, you also may have noticed that I'm in a different spawn room than I was last time that I died, or last time that I spawned. And if I kill myself again, I might get put into a different one again. No, this is the same one. Anyway, so I get put into, there's 2 spawn rooms for each team too, and you get put into a random one each time you spawn. There's a change class / team button in the spawn room. And if you push that, it clears your inventory and everything, and you get put back in the lobby. You can pick your class. I'm gonna go over here and pick Scout because it's a quick one and I want to show you the map. All my stuff. Okay, I got my gear again. This time I have a Scout hat because I'm a Scout. The Scout is a fast class. I also have a Critical potion, which has strength 2 for 20 seconds. And that's supposed to give you like critical hits. You'll also notice I'm level 20. Now, these levels are really important to the capture the flag mechanic, the way we implemented it. Everyone on the blue team is going to be level 20. I missed the jump. Everyone on the blue team is going to be level 20. Everyone on the red team is level 40. When you grab the flag, it will give you extra levels, and that tracks within the game that you are holding the flag. And So yeah, we use these levels a lot, and I'll show you the command blocks that do that. So here I can just step on this pressure plate, and it'll say that Seth has taken the red intel, and then I can go back, and it's going to say every few seconds that I have the red intel. You'll also notice there's a 14 minutes remaining little sticker there. These are all done using the command blocks. And so the game takes place over the course of 15 minutes at most. If you get to 3 captures, you win. Otherwise, whoever has the most captures wins. Missed the jumping in. Let's see, what else? I'm just going to capture the intel to show you what happens then. Check my notes as I'm running. Oh yeah, there's health packs. These health packs, you step on them. You might have heard a splash potion that gave me health. This light will dim because I've used. What's going on? I don't know. I've used the health pack, but then now the light is brightened up again. Sorry again to those who can't see in the back. The light is brightened up again, so now I can use it again. So it's kind of like a respawning health pack. And so now I can go back into our basement where I have to return the intel. And you'll see it's blue everywhere, so that's how you know it's the blue basement. That was my team. Step on the pressure plate again, and I've captured the red intel. And now it says blue has 1 capture, red has 0. We really wanted to make the user interface as simple as possible. All you have to do is step on a pressure plate to capture. All you have to do is step on a pressure plate to return it. Very simple, easy. So, that's pretty much the map itself. And so now I'm going to take you through the steps we went through to build it. I'm not going to show you block by block, obviously. There's way too much there. I'm also not going to show you how the skeleton, the structures, and terrain were built. I didn't actually do that. A couple guys named Cairo Fox and Max did that for us. We can take a look here. And actually, let me just open it up and see it. I'm just going to show you the skeleton that they handed us, and what I am going to go over is the redstone, the command blocks, the MCedit tools, like map editing tools that we used, and there should be hopefully a good amount of time left at the end for questions. So first I'm going to open up, this is MCedit. This is an editor program for those of you who haven't seen it. I tend to do a lot of stuff with MCedit on my channel. I like to write little scripts. There's scripts you can write. So here's the map. It looks a lot like Minecraft, but you can fly around really fast. The trick is you can also select big boxes of stuff. You can copy and paste with it. You can fill it with materials. There's a lot you can do with MCedit, and anyone who wants to do map making will probably end up using MCedit. And you can get that at mcedit.net. Like I was saying, I write scripts for this. So if I go over to the filter tab here, we'll see a whole list of scripts that I've written. And they do completely different things. In the next room over, I think. Let's see, there's like a set biome filter here that will set the biome of the region. So you can change it to mushroom biome or desert or whatever. There's an enlarge filter that will take a structure and enlarge it. I have some other stuff here. I'm not going to go over all of it. So this is the skeleton though that was given to us, and it basically contains all of the playable areas, but none of the redstone. So there's some yellow stuff in here. Those are actually just signs, just because MCedit shows them like that. There's some minecarts or something in here. That's what the red things are. Maybe they're paintings. Maybe they're mobs. I don't know. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the entire thing here. It takes a little bit of practice to be able to select stuff like you want to be honest, in MCedit. So I want to make sure that I have the entire thing selected, and I can kind of fine-tune this box around the thing. I'm going to copy this, Control-C, and you remember the map selection room in the game. Well, you need both of them on the same map, both 2.4 and Dust Bowl on the same map in order to do that. So I'm going to copy it over. Here's the Dust Bowl map that we did previously. It's loading. Taking a while to load. Well, you can see it over there, kind of. It's probably not really going to load while I'm over here. Anyway, and I can just paste the 2-fort map right into the same map over here and import it. It might take a little bit of time. Nope, awesome. So now I've got, okay, I wish this would load. Now I've got the 2-fort and Dust Bowl in the same map, but they're just not loading. None of the visible, they're not being visible. I'm not really sure why. Okay, starting to get it, yes. So here's some of the Dust Bowl stuff. And then again, it's not visible over here, but there is the 2-fort stuff over there. Now, this is the spawn section of the map. This is that lobby that I showed you, but this is in the Dust Bowl version. It also has a bunch of capsules that the different classes use to get all their gear. Whenever I respawned, you might have noticed it was dark for a second because I was in one of these capsules getting my gear. If you look real close, you can see some dispensers in here. And so the spawn area between 2-fort and Dust Bowl was roughly the same. So I can just grab all this stuff and I'm just going to clone it over. So I'm going to use the clone function over here. And let's go back over to the 2-fort area of the map. I'm just showing you this as kind of an example of how you use MCedit to speed things up, because the stuff I'm doing here would take a long time to do manually. Obviously, copying something like this block by block would be terrible. So I'm gonna clone this and move it over by, we'll say 400 blocks. So now it's underneath the 2-fort map. And I'll just hit clone. And so now we have a new spawn area that will work for the 2-fort map. Some of these wires aren't really hooked up. There's some redstone in here, but you know we can deal with that later. One problem is there's a lot of command blocks in here. You can kind of see them. It's a little bit hard to see, but there are command blocks in here. And the command blocks, for those of you who aren't familiar with command blocks, they are just a little box. You can put a command, just type in a command to them, and when they receive redstone power, they'll execute the command. So some of these command blocks have teleport commands in there, /TP. Now the teleport command can teleport you to a specific set of coordinates. -100, -500, or -100, 70, -500, or something like that. So there are command blocks in here that are specifically supposed to teleport you from, say, the spawn area to maybe like the soldier spawn capsule. And that's teleporting you to a specific set of coordinates. But we've just copied and pasted this and moved this to a whole different set of coordinates. So in order to fix that, I'm going to use one of those scripts that I wrote. I'm going to use the move command block coordinates script. And I don't think this is something I've actually released publicly, but I probably will be soon. What this does is it just finds all the command blocks in the region that you've selected, and it kind of shifts some of their coordinates over. So if I put dx as 400, because I moved the entire spawn area over by 400 blocks in the x direction, then it'll just adjust all of those command blocks, and they'll be teleporting you to the right location. So this whole spawn area will work correctly now. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show you in MCedit just for now. I will mention that the filters that I've written are written in Python. I can actually bring up some of the source code. Here's what it looks like. Here's what the source code looks like. It's just a bunch of text. Yeah, this is something I can't really do a tutorial for because writing code is a complicated task. But hopefully some of you will go out and learn it. But yeah, it's written in Python and it's really useful. So let me move back over to the. Yes, okay, so I'm going to go back into the game. I'm actually going to show you a little bit of Redstone. So right here is kind of the template we used for the health packs of the game. So you'll see this redstone lamp is lit up. If I step on the pressure plate, I get some health. This dims. There's a little signal traveling through these repeaters that will sort of cause a delay on the respawn for that health pack. And I don't want to go too in depth about this, but basically for those of you who are pretty advanced with Redstone, this is an RS NOR latch. It's like a switch. When you step on the pressure plate, it triggers the dispenser that has the health potions in it, and it also flips the switch. Then after a few seconds, the switch gets flipped back off, and that's what lets you use the pressure plate again. So this is the template that we used for the health packs in the game. If I come back over to the actual map, we can see some of the health packs in action. So here's one of them. You'll notice it looks very similar. Maybe a different number of repeaters, but it's same thing over here. It's just there's nothing in the dispenser, so I didn't get any help there. But we had to fit it into the map itself. So there was, you can't always use the exact same redstone everywhere. You can't exactly copy and paste it, but it's the same concept. And here's another one right here. Some places we had to design it just a little bit differently because the map itself obstructs the way. So this is just kind of an example of how you can integrate some redstone into the map. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say about health packs. You'll notice down below, this is the spawn system that we copied and pasted in. And all the, if I look at my coordinates, what am I at? Negative 147, 40, negative 615. These command blocks, oops, they have the commands in them. This is like a teleport command, and it's pretty close to my current coordinates. What I want to talk about. Yeah, so I'm going to actually explain how this spawn system works. This is one of the critical components of the whole.
Yeah, mostly when I came in, there was like only bug fixes left, and we kind of tweaked everything. We reformatted the quiz. And installer, I was the guy pretty much behind the new installer. Has anyone used it yet? The new installer? Yeah? Small guy? Yeah? Did you like it?
It's okay.
But anyways, yeah. Yeah.
What's going on here? Yeah. Is there anyone in the room who is in charge of making this better?
Yeah, not yet. Well, actually, Mika can explain it because you're the guy mostly behind it. I created some web development, retweaked the members.
Somebody please,
probably
I don't even know.
Remember that.
Go find someone. I don't know if anyone here is a helper.
Well, yeah. What's the bug fixes? Funniest bug fix probably was that when you go to the Nether and you use teleport blocks there, and if you teleport to another block, you don't teleport to the real world, but you teleport inside the Nether.
I don't even need to talk. This guy
It's fixed.
All right, I think we may be good.
Oh.
No, we're not good. I think we should get over into their PA systems.
Yeah. Well, you can place blocks around the world and you can kind of swap.
He's down.
Like that. I really like.
Hey, I think they're still going. Did somebody went out of the room to try and find someone? So I don't really want to keep going while they're doing that. Maybe I'll try in the silences while somebody's asking a question, because I don't want to get too far behind. I want to leave lots of time at the end for question and answers. So let me just kind of show you how this stuff works. So I just work through the door. These are the command blocks. There's no item frames here that have all the class labels, but there are signs up here. And notice in each of the command blocks, there's just a teleport command. TP is teleport. It's going to teleport the nearest player to a certain set of coordinates. So the scout has a certain set of coordinates. The soldier has a certain set of coordinates. Each one of these teleports the player to a different set of coordinates, and that'll give you all the stuff you need for that class. And so if I pop outside, I can show you where those command blocks are actually teleporting you to. It's a really useful technique that I think will be used in a lot of PvP and adventure maps. So here's the scout command block right here. what this does, when you push the button for this command block, it teleports you into the middle of this capsule, right down here. And you step on this pressure plate down there. Now what this does is it triggers all of this redstone and all these command blocks.
So I the client-side code of Minecraft. The first thing I worked on was the teleportation block. Information block.
It's all interconnected.
It's like
I'm just going to keep trying to talk. I think I can talk over this guy. All right, so we have all these dispensers here. Some of them are empty just because I wanted room in case I decided to add more stuff. Some of these have splash potions, like this is a splash potion of swiftness. It gives you speed 2 for an hour. This will be every time you. Oh, actually, this is the wrong spawn capsule. But when you press that button up here, you actually come down to this one. Again, there's some empty dispensers just in case I wanted extra room. This will give you everything that you get. That you're supposed to keep permanently as that class. So this wooden sword. One second. Someone's gonna come over. So everything that you get every time you spawn, or sorry, once per game essentially, or once every time you choose a class. So like you get a sword once, you get this bow once. This is the scout hat, the blue boots. You'll keep this stuff when you die, and that's because of game rule keep inventory true. If you type this command in, the world will have a flag set, a little setting that says if you die, you get to keep all your stuff. Really useful, and that's what we use in the game.
When did I come along? About 5 months since Alexis started, or something like that.
Why can't people take longer asking their questions?
Basically, I can remember.
Don't do that.
A lot of stuff together with Alexei.
All right.
But I started doing the teleport blocks from scratch. I think it took me a month or so, because I was still learning, and as these guys said, they've been tweaked ever since, so
really don't want
I
to
guess
talk
I
about
didn't do a really good job.
There's also these command blocks here
But yeah,
that give you.
lately
For
I've been
instance,
doing a lot of updates.
This one,
Updates and the MCedit updates, and I put all the EDU stuff to the MCP. And the latest thing is this is called
this
update
one gives you an arrow.
when you can switch between.
This one gives you an arrow. You need one arrow for the bow. I'm going to talk over you, okay? Got nothing. This one gives you an arrow for the bow, and there's other command blocks in here. This one will set your spawn point, and it sets your spawn point to another capsule up there that I'll show you in a second. And it's going to set your spawn point basically to the capsule that will give you all your consumable stuff, the stuff that you might use every time that you spawn. This one will teleport you right to it. So you get all your gear here, you get your spawn point set up here to the other scout capsule, and you get teleported there. And when you get teleported into here, this is where you get stuff like, you get that splash potion of swiftness, which means every time you spawn, you're going to be speed 2 for half an hour, or for an hour, which is longer than the game. You also get this critical that we saw earlier, and there's like some command blocks over here. I think they'll like clear your inventory of empty bottles, or if you still have criticola, just make sure you only have one bottle, one potion at a time every time you spawn. Then it teleports you from this spawn capsule to a team spawn capsule that's right in here. Another command block. You'll notice I use a lot of these capsules. They're really useful for spawn systems. When you get in here, this is actually not the full version of the spawn system we used, which is kind of a shame. But basically, when you get in here, it'll teleport you to the spawn point for your team. In the final version, we actually had a couple of different teleport blocks, and it kind of randomly picked which one to use using a line cart. I might show you that later if it's if we're nearby. But basically, that's how you get from pushing the button to getting all your gear for your class, getting all the gear for the spawn, up to the team capsule, and then up into the spawn point for your team. And every time you spawn, you're going to spawn right back in the capsule. So you'll get all your consumables again, go to the team spawn point, you'll go back to the map. So that's kind of how the spawn system works, and it lets you get specific stuff for different classes. and still have a good way to spawn somewhere with your team. Okay, so next I'm going to move on to the flag capture system. So that would be stage 2. They have numbers. All right, here we are, and this is, I believe this is the right map. So I'm just going to fly. I'm going to fly right out of this and head up to just underneath the map, because this is where we built the flag capture system. And all right, so I'm going to come up here and break some of the floor here. This is the pressure plate. Again, we changed this around a little bit for the final version of the map. This is the pressure plate you stand on if you're say on the red team and you're trying to capture the blue intel, trying to grab the blue intel. You'll step here. Or if you're on the blue team, you have the red intel and you're trying to return it to this point. The intel is the flag, intelligence. It's kind of a spy beam. So this pressure plate does a couple different things depending on which team you're on and if you have the flag or not, the intel or not. So if we come down here, I'm going to go over a lot of command blocks now, and I'm going to try and be as clear as possible and try and explain it. But I hope I can do that. So there's 2 command blocks down here that get triggered directly by this pressure plate. One is kind of labeled red, one is blue. That's because if you're on the red team and you're trying to grab the flag, then this command block will do something to you. If you're on the blue team and you have the flag, this command block will do something to you. So let's go through it kind of case by case. Let's say you're on the red team. That'll mean you're level 40, like we talked about earlier, and you are trying to grab the flag. So you'll trigger this command block. Actually, you'll trigger both, but only this one's going to do anything to you. Now, there's a bunch of stuff here, and I don't have time to explain all of how it works, but the gist of it is, it teleports a player from these coordinates near the where the pressure plate was. It only looks for players who are at least level 40 and at most level 40. Or actually, it's the other way around. At most level 40 and at least level 40. I'm the same thing, and it'll teleport them to these coordinates. So if you're on the red team and you're on the pressure plate, this will teleport you down here, and it'll trigger this pressure plate. Now, there's 2 cases. If somebody on your team already has the flag, we don't want the game to give you the flag because there's only one flag, and you can't have multiple people with it. So there's a system in here that checks if somebody else is already carrying the flag. If nobody else has the flag, then the game should give you the flag by putting you at level 50 because you're given 10 levels, and that signifies that you're carrying the flag. So again, you're level 40 when you come in here. If somebody else with level 50 already exists on the map, you're not going to gain any levels, but if nobody else does, you'll gain 10 levels, and that'll signify you're carrying the flag. Now, I'm going to go through one by one on the command blocks and tell you how each one of them helps accomplish that. The first one here gives you 1 level, so it'll put you at level 41. The second one here teleports you to a player who is level 50. So this will only do anything if there is another player that's level 50, because it's looking for players at least 5 blocks away from this pressure plate. It's not gonna, so if there is somebody else that's level 50, it'll teleport you to that player. If not, you're just gonna stay right here. This command block looks for, if you're still within, if you're no longer within 5 blocks of this pressure plate, it means you've been teleported away. And if that's the case, this command block is going to tell you that the player who's level 50 already has the flag and you can't grab it. That's what this block does. This one, if you were teleported away, will teleport you right back to the flag room because you weren't given the flag. And then if you're still on the pressure plate, that means you weren't teleported away. There's no one else on your team who has the flag, and you'll be given 9 levels, put you up to level 50, signifies that you're carrying the flag now. And then this one says that you've taken the intel. It just says it to everyone in the game. And this one teleports you back to the flag room. So that's all there is to it for grabbing the flag. It's a little bit complicated, convoluted, and it takes a little bit of thought. This was probably the hardest part of doing this map, was to figure out how to do do a capture the flag system in a way that's resettable and works even if the player with the flag logs out, and there's a lot of challenges to it. So, okay, so that's what happens if you're on the red team and you're trying to grab the blue flag. Now, if you're on the blue team and you have the red flag, this command block is what's going to trigger and teleport you. So it's going to teleport you as a level 30 player, because again, the blue team is level 20. If you have the flag, you gain 10 levels, so you'll be a level 30. So we can see there's level, it's looking for someone at level 30. And so it'll teleport you onto this pressure plate. And there's a few command blocks. This one, actually this is, again, not quite the system we use. But basically at this point, it's just going to tell everyone that you've captured the flag. It's actually going to teleport you over to the center of the map over here. And this is what actually announces that you captured the flag. And when we add the scoring system, this redstone line here is what's going to tell the scoring system that the blue team got a capture and that you should add a point for the blue team. Now this version doesn't include that yet, that's going to be the next thing I'm going to show you. But so this over here is what's going to trigger if somebody who's level 30 returns to the blue flag room. Over here, this is what's going to trigger if somebody who's level 50 returns to the red flag room. It signifies that red has captured the flag. So it's going to announce to the world that the red team has captured the flag and then teleport them right back to the red flag room. Okay, so it was a little complicated. Hopefully I explained it okay. And you'll have chances to ask questions in a bit. I'm pretty close to done with my presentation here. The last thing that I need to show you is the scoring system. And I'm not going to explain it too in depth for a couple of reasons. First of all, I didn't actually make the scoring system. Again, like I said, I worked with Hypixel, and they did a lot of the redstone for this map. And so they did the scoring system in particular. It is a lot of redstone. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, come to the redstone panel that I'm doing immediately after this. There's a lot of redstone here. It will count how many points the team has here. This one here will say blue has 0 captures, blue has 1 capture, blue has 2 captures, etc. Same thing over here for red. This thing also compares who has more captures when the time is up, or when you hit 3 captures, it'll end the game. We can look at some of the command blocks here that will announce to the world. Okay, this is something different. I think one of these. Again, like I said, I didn't do this part, so I'm a little bit lost myself. But this is the sort of thing I encourage people to download the map and look through for themselves. Here we are. So this one says the blue team wins, and this one will trigger, I think, at the end of the game if the blue team has more points. And there's a few other command blocks like that do that. And then, there's a big row of repeaters here that basically after the game is over will create a little bit of a delay before it teleports you back to the game lobby so you can play another game. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. This gold system over here is the timing system. That's what provides the 15-minute time limit. This is kind of neat. The way it works is there's a minecart over here, and the minecart comes up and it goes up this ramp, and then it falls through these webs, and it takes about a minute to fall through these webs. So at the beginning, it's going to say 15 minutes remaining. After it falls through these webs, goes up the line here, it's going to say 14 minutes remaining. And when the game isn't running, the rail curves off to the side so that the minecart can get reset back to the starting position. And so basically you can reset the minecart if you want to start a new game. So this is kind of a neat timing system that doesn't really need any redstone clocks or anything. It just relies on a minecart running along a rail and going through some webs. And so that has 15 of those command blocks that say 15 minutes of time. I guess there's a couple more things I want to show you. I mentioned earlier there's a team randomizer. You push the button.
Yeah, actually about the ID part for your IT guys. You can define the ports yourself and the IP address yourself at the school. So there's kind of no problem because every school should have at least some kind of LAN or internet connection, right? And should be. And yeah, you can kind of define everything you want to. So you just enter
pretty
the
cool.
IP
Not really
of the
relevant, right?
local machine, or
I don't
you
know.
enter the IP
Okay,
of the
so
hosting machine.
I'm going to talk over him.
Yeah,
There is a randomized team button here.
internet, so there's no problem.
And when I push that, it's going to put me on a random side. There's only one player in the server, but again, it'll put an even number of players on the two sides of the system. How this works is when you push the button, it teleports everybody into another capsule over here. You notice I love these capsules. So everybody gets jammed into this. They're all kind of tightly packed in there. It's kind of funny, but when you do that, there's a minecart over here that's running over these two detector rails. These detector rails will trigger the command blocks. So it'll trigger this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and it'll go back and forth. Each one of these picks a random player in that room, and it teleports them either onto the red side for this command block, or onto the blue side for this command
doesn't
block.
affect it, yeah.
So as the minecart's
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
it's going to teleport one player to one player to the other, over and over. Really simple system, but it works really well to separate the people into two teams, and there will always be an even number of people on both teams, or as even as possible. And we use, here's the final version of the team spawn capsule. This is what teleports you, if you're on the blue team, it'll teleport you to one of the two spawn points up in the map. It uses a similar system, the two detector rails, and it'll teleport the players out from here. I guess the one last thing I want to show you is the change team / class button, and that is I'll find one. In the spawn point, if you recall, you can push this button. It's well, I can just show you what it does right here. Here's the spawn, and there's the change team / class button. You push it, it triggers 4 command blocks. Now, one of them will set your spawn point back to the lobby of the world, so that when you die, you'll get teleported back there. One of them clears your inventory, just to make sure, because you have all the gear for your class. One of them removes all of your levels. This is really important because you don't want somebody who's, say, the flag carrier to go back to the lobby, and then they're still kind of carrying the flag, but they're not really in the game. It would really mess things up. So you don't want anyone to have any levels while they're not in the game. And then this one teleports you into the void, and you fall to your death. But since the spawn point was set back to the lobby, you're right back there, and you can pick your team and class. Sorry, thanks.
Still working on it.
Actually, this is the last thing I wanted to show you. This is pretty simple too, but it just goes to show you that you need to always be thinking about the stuff the player has at any given point in the map. You don't want them to have a sword in the lobby because they're going to start killing people and have it get kind of annoying. And you don't want them to have levels because they could be carrying the flag, stuff like that. I think this is about where I'm going to end the showcase of the map and how we built it. Hopefully it gives you a lot of insight into how you might go about building your own custom maps. At this point, I am going to open it up to questions, and you don't need to just ask about this map. You can ask about maybe another map that I've done, or maybe another map someone else has done, or I'd appreciate if you didn't, start giving out your ideas for maps, because this is more of a question and answer thing. But if you do have a question of how to accomplish something that is probably going to be common to a bunch of maps, then that is the type of thing that would be good to ask. Once again, I want to thank Hypixel. They did a lot of the work too, and Pyrofox and Max for helping out with this as well. And I am going to pick the guy with the lady with the sword. Yeah. Yeah, the command blocks are part of the game. Everything you've seen here is part of the vanilla game. I'm running 1.4.5, the latest version. The command blocks are built into the game. They were added in 1.3. You can't get them in the creative menu. If you open up the creative menu here, you have access to all of the blocks, pretty much, except for the command block. To get the command block into your inventory, you use /give 137. 137 is the ID of the command block. /give Seth Bling, or your name. and that'll give you a command block. And then you can start placing them. Now, command blocks don't work on some servers, and if you have a server that you want command blocks to work on, you need to enable them manually, and if you want to run this game, you have to enable command blocks. Yes? So the question was, when I did my Redstone challenge map, how did I think of the puzzles? So the Redstone challenge map was an interesting sort of map where basically you could see all the redstone. It was under a layer of glass, and you couldn't really interact with it. There were only a couple spots where you could actually interact with the redstone, and you were given a very limited number of supplies to try and solve the puzzle, open the door. The question was how I came up with the puzzles, and that was what I wanted to do there was I wanted to slowly ramp up and give the players sort of expectations of what they should be looking for in terms of solutions. I wanted to, so for some of the early levels have interesting little bugs, but if you provide a one-tick pulse to a piston, it'll push a sticky piston. It'll push the block, but it won't retract it like a sticky piston would. And so I wanted to show that before they had to actually use that in a solution. But yeah, I wanted to incorporate a lot of the standard interesting mechanics, things like bud switches, the sticky piston one-tick pulses, clocks, monostable circuits, all these things you'll find on the Minecraft wiki. And I basically wanted to incorporate as many of those as I could in interesting ways that would lead to difficult puzzles, but not too difficult. Let's see.
When you teleport into the chambers to get the sword and stuff, how did you keep replacing the sword with the dispensers?
Oh, that's actually a great question. So the question was, when you teleport into the spawn capsule to get the sword, how did I replenish the swords in the dispensers? And let's take a look real quick at this. So it looks like the Criticola, there's only one of each slot. So it looks like there's only 9 Criticolas in this dispenser. But there's actually -9. Now this is sort of a trick I used. This is using another one of my MCedit scripts. Every stack in a dispenser has a quantity, has a number of items in it. Each one of these stacks actually has the quantity set to -1. When you do that, it just never runs out. It's just a feature of the game, and so this is a way you can, if you have access to a custom map editor, you can create dispensers that never run out. Very useful tool. In the back.
With the OSP system, want to separate from the when you kill someone, you get their
Yeah, so the question was, with the XP system, when you kill someone, don't you get their experience? Wouldn't that reset their experience to 0 and put you at, level 80 or something? And the answer is that keep inventory game rule that I mentioned earlier also lets you keep all of your experience. So you don't drop any of it when you die, and you'll keep it when you respawn. It's actually reset by some command blocks when you spawn too, to make sure that if you were level 50 because you were carrying the flag, you'll get reset to level 40 because now you're not carrying the flag anymore. Yeah, you. How is it possible to place redstone over dispenser? I can show you real quick. It's actually simpler than you'd think. Let me just grab some redstone. Okay, I'm going to break the redstone here. You just place it on a block next to it, and the only place you can put it is right here. That's it. Very simple. Okay, you. Sorry, can you repeat that?
How did you get different color text when you said that you had how did you get
Okay, yeah, those are good questions. Those are pretty common questions actually that I get. So the 2 questions were, how do I get different text in the command blocks? Let me see. I think I can find some down here maybe. I'm not sure. I think you all kind of saw the colored text. It was colored in bold. Their answer is you can edit the sort of data structures in the game, and there are certain control characters which let you add colors to it. Now, the way that I actually did it was back in MCedit, I have a filter called color command block text right here. Again, you probably can't see it, but it's called color command block text, and it'll add a color or bold or italic or underline to some text in the command block, and I use that every time that I have a command block say something. The other question, I am blank. What was the other question? Yeah, how did I get the map empty? The way I did that was, again, in MCedit. Actually, well, there's a couple ways to do that. In MCedit, you can create a new map, or you can create chunks that are empty. You can also, if you know how to do it, you can use a super flat world with custom settings so that it's just a layer of air is the only thing, and then it'll be completely empty. So I'm not going to tell you to do that. You can look it up later on. Yes, you.
In some areas, there are most of the like before.
Again, that's one of my filters will allow you to do that. I have a lot of these scripts. Some of them will. Sorry, the question was there are certain mobs with custom amount of health, custom amount or custom potion effects, stuff like that. So I have all these filters that will allow you to add potion effects, allow you to change their health, or add gear to them. They'll let you create mob spawners that use these mobs and actually spawn them with gear or with potion effects. You'll just have to look those up, but MCedit filters is the way that people typically do that. So, yes, with the story.
How do you think the Redstone update is going to affect the vending?
The question was, how do I think the Redstone update is going to affect adventure maps and custom maps? Well, I'm not sure that enough has been revealed to really fully answer that question. I think that there's going to be some new tools. I think that stuff like bug switches, which they've said they're going to fix, are used in some maps like that, but not really that much, I think. So that might change a little bit around. I think there's going to be new tools. I think some kind of tools that are based on glitches are going to be taken away. But overall, everything that Mojang has done over the last few months has been tremendously helpful for custom map makers, things like the command block. So I have full confidence that they're going to keep us in mind, keep custom map makers in mind when they're making those changes, and they're really going to help us out with the tools. So yeah, I think it'll be good. Yes, you're there. Right, yeah. I may not have actually shown the command blocks that do that. The question was, when I was showing the flag system, I gave you a level to teleport you away off to another player. What happens to that level? So there were some command blocks that I didn't show, I think, that actually, if you're level 41 and you're teleported away, it'll teleport you back to the flag room and remove your level. So yeah, there's just some extra command blocks that I didn't show. But you can download this map and look at it for yourself if you're curious about this stuff and exactly how it works. I think we have time for one more. Wait. No, actually, I'm good for 7 minutes more. So we still have time for a couple questions. Let me try and get in the back.
Is it possible to use custom spawners to spawn gas and fireballs?
Yeah. It is. Actually, let me show you something I've been working on. This will be something exclusive for you guys. Yes, the question was, can you spawn gas fireballs? And the first person I saw do this was actually Vex. He's a really good custom map maker. And what I've done with it, and I think I'll probably be making a video about it pretty soon, is I've made a little game out of it. Let me just open that up. I think I should have it right here. Yeah, here we are. It's a little bowling game. So yeah, I have some spawners here, and when you're nearby, they'll spawn these fireballs. You can hit the fireball because it's just floating there in midair, and you can kind of bowl. It's a little prototype I'm playing around with. I'm going to refine this a bit, but Yeah, you can do a lot of cool stuff if you're willing to get dirty and get into the nitty-gritty details of the game. All right, next question. Yes, you.
In Hero Prize Mansion, if you're familiar with it, in the beginning, a villager says something only once and only if you get near enough to it, and there are no levels involved. How do you do that?
I would suspect probably the way they do that is if there's no like pressure plates or buttons or anything. Probably the way that I would do that is I would use a mob spawner, and I would have it have a detection range that would be underground, and there would be detection. Let me repeat the question. The question was there's a villager that when you get near it, it'll say something, but only once. So I would have a mob spawner would have a detection range of 16 or something. It would be buried underground, and the mob spawner would spawn something on a pressure plate. And so as maybe like a minecart or something on a pressure plate. And these are things you can do
But it works with 2 players.
Sorry?
It works with 2 players.
It works with 2 players, once per player?
Yeah.
Oh. I'd have to think about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. But let me just finish my thought. If you do want to detect a player without having pressure plates, you can have a spawner with a detection radius spawn something on a pressure plate, and it'll be completely out of sight. You won't be able to hear it, but it can trigger some redstone, and it's kind of a neat way to have a proximity detector. So. The man in the back? Yeah, no, it was you. Yeah.
Earlier you were talking about how the players have different levels, which enable some things in the game. How do you make it so when a player kills another player, they don't receive that player's levels?
Just to answer that question, that was the keep inventory game rule keeps you from losing your levels when you die. Yeah.
How do you input text rather than
So, in the command block, so the command block actually has a. It looks like it's a short. The question was, how do you write text that's longer than the command block's width? The command block looks like it has a short amount of text that can fit into it, but if you keep typing, it'll keep. You can keep typing past the end of that, and it'll scroll back and forth. So you can put a lot of text into a command block. Probably have time for 1 or 2 more questions. So, yes, over here. So the question was, after you've been... I understand the concern. Okay, so the question was, when you are teleported, when you're trying to grab the flag and you're teleported to the player with level 50, it checks to see if you're at least 5 blocks away from the pressure plate. And that way it'll know that you've been teleported away. The question was, what if that player is within 5 blocks of that pressure plate? And the answer is actually pretty simple. The pressure plate's under the level, and you can't actually get within 5 blocks of it unless you cheat and you go break the level and go under the level. So it's not going to look anywhere that a player that's level 50 could actually be. I think one last question. Well, I'm going to do 2 more actually. Gentleman in the back. Sorry, in the very, the one with the light. Yeah.
I'll defer to the guy in the red there.
Okay, the guy in the red? Where?
Jeff, go ahead.
How long did this take me to make? Sorry, well, not this, the Team Fortress, I assume. So the first one that we were working on for about a month, and we were working pretty hard. This one that we worked on was also about a month, but it was kind of a background project for us, just because it was a lot easier just because we had the spawn points all set up, like all the spawn system, and we didn't have to build the map ourselves. We were given that by Pyrofox and Mac. So we'll do one more question. Let's see right here.
What inspired you in doing Redstone and what is
So what inspired me to start doing Redstone was the first thing I made. I was playing the game, I saw some really cool stuff in minecarts, and it was a complete and utter mystery to me, so I wanted to do some cool stuff in minecarts. First thing I made was actually a minecart station where you could just get into the minecart, it would go, and then when you arrive back at the station, you could just get out, and it just worked automatically without having to push any buttons. And that was really hard for me. It's actually something pretty simple. It would be pretty simple for me to do now, but at the time, I didn't know anything, and I'll say to you that I started out as a complete Redstone noob, back like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and I had to learn it all myself. I had to look on the wiki, I had to play around with it a lot, and if you want to learn it, you can. It takes a little bit of effort because it is a little bit complicated, but I think anyone can do it, and you just have to stick to it, and if you really want to learn all this stuff that I'm showing you, you really can, and there are the resources out there, YouTube videos and the wiki and Minecraft forum, you can get help with that. So that's going to wrap it up for this. I really appreciate all you coming out. I'm really sorry about the TV. I thought I was going to be in a room with a projector. I didn't even know, I didn't have any control over it, so I apologize for that, but hopefully you guys still took something away from this.